Good morning, my name is Giana Darling and today is my release day. I am a best-selling romance novelist and today I release my dark fairy tale, which is a mafia romance published with Amazon Publishing, their Montlake division. And it was a dream of mine for many years to publish with Montlake, so it's kind of just a dream come true to have today. I have lots to do on a release day. Mostly it's like marketing and promo things. I have 2 interviews today, one at 1 p.m. and one at 5 p.m. I'm going to a celebratory dinner with my husband later. I have to go to the gym. I have to respond to all of the many wonderful tags and reviews and comments on my social media posts and social media, and I have to keep an eye on my ranking because hopefully it goes really well today. Right now I actually woke up to a text message from my friend QB Tyler and she said it's already #1 in mafia romance, so that's really exciting and hopefully today it goes really well. I don't really care about rank. I'm not like a rank chaser, even though I understand why people are, but I'm really just more excited about seeing the reviews come in and just everyone having the opportunity to read my Italian mafia romance, which is really a love letter to Italy and to my love for mafia romance. Okay, so I'm just sitting down to eat some breakfast. I made my normal my eggs and turkey bacon scramble with spinach, and I'm going to start going through my phone. When I just log into Instagram, it maxes out at showing 20 messages, so I have 20 messages and innumerable tags, which is incredible, like absolutely incredible to see so many people who have either read an early copy or who are just sharing the release. When I have tons of reviews to go through, I always read them all on release day and sometimes a few days afterwards. Typically they're not super mean in the beginning, and usually people don't tag me in mean reviews, which is great. If you're a reader, please don't tag authors in your mean reviews. It's interesting because I feel like some people think that they just forget that authors are people, and honestly, authors are emotional people because we're empathetic in order to understand different people and different situations and different emotionalities in order to write a really good book. So we are typically quite sensitive people. Definitely, this is my 8th year doing this, which is incredible and insane to even say. Obviously, I've developed a bit of a thicker skin now, but I remember back in the day when I had like a release, or even if it wasn't a release, when I would read a bad review and I would actually feel like physically ill, sick to my stomach. I would probably vomit. A couple of times I did vomit when it was like a particularly nasty review. And if you're wondering if I'm exaggerating, I mean, the meanness of the reviews can be quite cruel in terms of like, I actually read one the other day and I had a bit of a laugh about it with my husband and my friend Valentine, because in the review it said that my social media was very obnoxious and whiny, so there was no way that they could leave me a bad review on my social media. Which, first of all, I mean, I'm glad that they didn't want to leave me a bad review on my social media, but it's also like, why the personal attack? And also, my husband and Valentine were laughing because I am the least whiny person ever. As Valentine said, I shit rainbows. So it just kind of made me laugh. But that's the sort of thing that back in the day would have really hurt my feelings. So you definitely have to develop a thick skin, which I have now. And now, honestly, and I really mean this, I write for me. I don't feel like I need the external validation that a lot of people need. And therefore, when you get that bad review, you feel eviscerated by it. I think I write the story that I want to tell, that I feel compelled to tell, like a biographer writing about, a story that they've been told. That's what I feel my role is as an author. And if I tell that story faithfully, then I'm happy and I'm proud of myself. And so that's kind of how I take a step away from like the rat race and the competitiveness that you can feel in this industry, where you really have to hustle. People are releasing all the time. There's always the next big thing. Books go viral on TikTok and, people are always talking about this book or that book. For me, I'm just happy if I enjoy the story, and that's kind of my baseline. Anything above that is just gravy. So that's how I feel about my dark fairy tale too. I mean, it's always wonderful when arcs go into the wild and you realize that people are enjoying the story. And the feedback, it's interesting, the feedback that you get too. Like, this is the first book in a duet, so there's a really brutal cliffhanger, and a lot of readers don't like cliffhangers and they will knock off stars for a cliffhanger. Of course, it's a duet, and so there has to be a cliffhanger, and it's me, so it's a brutal one. I'm kind of known for my brutal cliffhangers. I know, baby, I know. So yeah, all that to say that I can understand that some people don't like the cliffhanger. And also, you know, I've noticed this about myself. When I write a duet, typically the first book is more like establishing the relationship between the couple and kind of their development and growth as individuals as they fall in love and open themselves up to that vulnerable connection. And so my first books are typically less action-packed than the second books in my duets. So Anti-Heroes in Love duet, When Heroes Fall, is definitely less action-packed and more of a slow burn than When Villains Rise. In the Enslaved duet, Enthralled is definitely less action-packed, although it does have some action, than Enamored, which is the second book. So I kind of feel like, if we want to use a roller coaster metaphor, my first book is kind of taking you up to the top of that peak, establishing the tone of the ride, and then basically book 2 is you going over that peak and plummeting into the abyss. And that's where all of the excitement, the danger, the real action-packed stuff comes. So that's the same with My Dark Mafia Romance duet. Definitely My Dark Fairy Tale is like a slower burn. It does have action, but of course it's this contrast between the POV of Raffaele Romano, who is a mafioso, and Guinevere Stone, who's this naive American girl on vacation in Italy. And in Guinevere's perspective, Rafa is this like kind of grumpy but suave Italian billionaire with a lot of mystery and maybe a little bit of darkness. And then in Rafa's point of view, he is this corrupted, unredeemable mafioso who doesn't really deserve love. And so you have these two contrasting POVs that make it for a really fun story. And I think it helps with a lot of tension because, you know, maybe they're dancing in a restaurant and it's so romantic and swoony, but she notices that he has something red on his shirt and he says it's tomato sauce, but we know as the reader that it's blood. So there's all these kind of fun little moments like that in the story, which I really love. And I think that even though there's less maybe action, even though there still is action in this book, it really creates this like delicious tension and chemistry between them, which I love. So I love this book. My agent told me that it's her new favorite book by me, and I had such great feedback from the editorial team that I worked with at Montlake, which was such a nice experience. I was really nervous about having a content editor because I don't use content editors in my indie self-published books. A lot of people do, and if you are curious about that, I would highly recommend Becca Hensley-Mysore with Fairy Plot Mother. She's amazing. But I don't usually use content editors, and so I was nervous, and I have used one before, and the feedback that they gave me was essentially, your writing isn't marketable, your writing style isn't marketable, so you know, you'll need to change it. And at the time I was like, oh my God, I don't know how to change that. This is how I write. And I was really nervous. I ended up not changing how I write, obviously, because I also don't know how. And there's something to say for the fact that my lyrical, poetic writing style is actually what I think is a hallmark of a Giana Darling book. And I think it's, you know, a lot of the time what sells my books to readers and what hooks them and keeps them being Giana Darling readers for life. You know, if it's not your gig to read like a poetic book, to read something, it's more like romance with the spice and everything, but it's written more like a literary fiction novel. If that's not your gig, then my books aren't for you, and that's totally okay. So anyway, that was a bit of a long-winded rant, and I'm sorry about that. But I am gonna eat my breakfast, which is getting cold, and give my dog some cuddles, his morning cuddles. Yeah, your morning cuddles. And I'm gonna go through my social media, and then I'm gonna go to the gym. I actually like to maintain my routine for a release day a little bit in like walking my dog or going to the gym, because it really helps with like, you know, bringing me back down to earth and not getting too caught up in the release mania and worrying about rank and everything like that. So yeah, so I'm gonna do that, but first I'm gonna eat something. Just wanted to show you guys what my husband wrote on our little whiteboard because he's so cute. He's the sweetest. Okay, so I am at the gym today. I'm doing a leg day. I'm now going 4 times a week instead of 3. So my workouts are a little bit shorter, which is nice because I was usually here for like 2 hours before, and now I'm here for like an hour and a half. I don't know if I'm gonna do my 30-minute cardio afterwards because I have a lot to do. So I think I'm just gonna do my strength training and then get out of here and get ready for my interview at 1. This is my leg day, and I love leg day. It's always the hardest. Upper body's fine. Leg day is the one that you want to go really hard on to develop that nice stomach tuck, which is what I always focus on.
whipped my sweat away. I got some nice hair going with my headphones.
I have a mango, so I'm gonna have a mango and yogurt for lunch. I have to eat it really quickly because I have a TikTok live with V Reads, who is like a huge mafia romance lover, I should say, not real life mafia, obviously, in like half an hour. So I still have to blow dry my hair. I'm obviously not gonna do it like this. I have to blow dry my hair and have something to eat because I'm starving after my workout. My dog has not been for a walk, and so he's just like staring at us while he waits for someone to take him for a walk. That's my husband's turn today. I have been going through notifications all morning and I still have not made a dent in all of the tags and stuff on Instagram. I did also look at some on Facebook, but I am not as diligent about responding to things on Facebook as I am on Instagram, especially just because on Instagram people actually like get so creative and make stuff for you, like make edits and videos and stuff. So I always want to get back to people for making those. So I have to do that. And then I have another interview later on with Kate. I think her handle's Kate Reads Books, but I'll put it here for you so that you can go and listen to it if you want, because they usually post them after we do the live, so you can go back and watch it. And then I have, I think, another interview tomorrow, and then maybe one more. I used to do, I feel like, more interviews, but I feel like they aren't as meaningful now. Hey, come here. Anyways, yeah, but anyway, I feel like they're not as meaningful, so I'm just not doing them as much. They're also like really taxing. So anyway, I am having some of this Yogu plant-based coconut yogurt, which is so good. It's honestly like candy, but I usually cut it with some lactose-free, fat-free Greek yogurt. And I would usually put protein powder in it as well, but I ran out. So bad me, I forgot to order some. And I really rely on my protein powder because I don't like to eat that much. Like I'm just not that hungry a lot, and I need all the protein from my gains. My legs are already so weak from the workout today. So can you hear that thumping? My upstairs neighbor is obviously having a time upstairs. But anyway, I'm gonna quickly crush this and then I'm gonna get ready for the interview. I'm excited about it. I feel like I'm never nervous about public speaking or lives or anything like that because I really love talking about books and reading, and yeah, I'm just not the type of person to really get nervous about something like that. I feel like I'm the type of person that gets nervous for like the first day at a new school or like trying a new activity or something. That's where, or like if I don't know anyone. I'm actually going to a writer's retreat this month, which I'm really excited about. It's my first one. And I actually don't know quite a few of the authors that are going. I'm staying with Brittany, like she's my roommate, which is great, like QB Tyler, who you guys know is one of my best friends. I don't know a ton of the other women, so I'm excited, but that's also where I get like a little bit nervous and also a little bit shy, which might surprise you guys. But anyway, release date's going well so far. I keep checking on my rating and Amazon just like doesn't update that much, so it's still in like the 900s, but it's #2 in Mafia Romance, and the reviews, there's like 37 reviews. So that's the thing about Amazon, it only updates like every couple of hours, and sometimes it's slower even than that. So I'm hoping that it breaks into the top 100. That's just like my goal. I'd love it if it got kind of a bit deep into the 100s, but we'll see. I know it's book 1 and a duet, and so that typically like people want to wait until book 2 comes out before reading book 1. But I'm hopeful that people take a risk and they just read it, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna eat this, and then I love mangoes. Actually, fun fact, my husband was named after a type of mango, the Hayden mango. Anyway, I'm gonna eat this and then I'm gonna get ready. So I'll see you soon. Okay, so I just finished my first interview today with V, and it was fabulous. I love talking to her. She's so like smart and eloquent and just really fun to talk to. So we talked a little bit about like my inspiration for my dark fairy tale. We talked about why I gave Guinevere her chronic illness, which affects the kidney and liver. And I mentioned that it was inspired by my French sister, Charlotte, who has the same illness. And I think that one of the reasons that I really like to include something like chronic illness is because I love the idea, and I tried to translate this with how Rafa is with Guinevere about it, and that like the person who gets to take care of you or look after you or worry about you, it's not a hindrance to them or an annoyance, it's a privilege. Some sirens outside. Fitting for my Mafia romance. But anyway, yeah, I just feel like it's really bonding, and it's this like palpable connection that you have. And I really love that from the very get-go, Rafa is tending to her and taking care of her. And he doesn't even know why, he just knows that he feels compelled to take care of this kind of like innocent, pure person, even though it goes against his character. And I love that that's his initial feeling towards her. It's not even like a sexual attraction, it's just a compulsion to take care of something that is beautiful and pure because he's not, and he wants more of that to exist in the world. And I love that about them. But anyway, I'm now going to make myself a coffee, a decaf coffee, and I'm gonna go through more of my tags and stuff. There's no way I'm gonna get through all of them today, but I'm doing the best that I can. And then I have another interview in 3 hours with Kate, and then Hayden and I are gonna go for dinner to celebrate at we should have gone to an Italian place, but we're going to a French place, which is really good. So I'm excited. I'm gonna eat that confit. Actually, you know, I have quite a few stories that are set in different locales. Like I have The Evolution of Sin, which is set in Mexico and in Paris. I'm just including outside of the States and outside of Canada. But The Anti-Heroes in Love Duet, which is in Naples and the Amalfi Coast. And then I have the Enslaved Duet, which is set in England and Scotland. And then I have The Moon on His Tides, which is also set in London. I really have a good time setting my books in different locales because I love to travel, and I feel like it's such an important part of my life, and it's taught me so much. And so I love having that in my books. I do have a few books coming out that are set in different places as well, including Spain, which I'm really excited about. So anyway, all that to say, I love to travel and I love having it in my books. I feel like there's certain hallmarks of a Giana Darling book, and like I would say exotic locales are one of them, age gaps another, some sort of forbidden aspect, the poetic prose, I just can't write any other way, spicy scenes. I feel like a lot of literary and like mythological or historical references. Because I'm #1 context, you guys know I always talk about the Clifton Strengths Finder test, and that's my #1 characteristic. So I love having those history and literative references. And yeah, I feel like honestly My Dark Fairy Tale has every single one of those things, which is why I love it so much. Right now it's sitting at #1 for Mafia Romance, which is really great. #8 at Action and Adventure, and it's 274 in the store. Hopefully it gets into the top 100. Again, it's with a publisher, so I'm not really sure about how that works, like how it's gonna go, but I hope it goes really well. But it's nice to see the orange banner, the orange bestseller banner. And I'm gonna go through, like, look at some of these. They're so good. And I'm obsessed. Like, oh my god, 38 tags just since I opened it last time. Anyway, there's a lot of them. I didn't even get through all of them. I'm gonna get back to this and I'll come back later. I've got my doggy by my side. I've just sat down to have a cookie, which you guys know because I actually had a vlog where I made cookies and chatted with you, and this is one of the cookies. It's so good. Romeo wants it too, but you can't have cookies. I have that, and then I have my mug that my friend Becca made me, which is so cute. It's got a quote from Pride and Prejudice, which is my favorite, and then this like really cute little image of us on it, which I'm obsessed with. Yeah, good boy. Yeah, you good dog. I'm going through my phone and all of the tags. I like literally in just the last like 20 minutes, half an hour, I got 45 new tags. It's pretty crazy. Romeo's gonna help me go through my phone and beg for cuddles. But I just have to say, like, it's one of those things where I never ever get tired or like used to seeing if people read my books and leave reviews and create content for it. It's just absolutely incredible. I'm not as big on TikTok like myself, but even being on TikTok and seeing, you know, the things that people make, like this is Olivia and she's one of my favorite creators. I mean, it's just amazing that people would ever make content like that for one of my books. So it never gets old. I'm so grateful for it. And I do have a content creator team as well. It's not that big, but so many people make content for my books. It just makes me so like overwhelmed with happiness. Oh, I also changed my shirt because I had a nap. I had a wee nap with my husband because I never sleep the night before release, just the anticipation and the excitement. So I had like a terrible migraine from being so tired. So I had a wee nap. I still have a headache, but whatever. So I'm gonna go through these some more and I got some flowers from my lovely agent. They're beautiful. And I got an email from the team at Montlake congratulating me on release, which was really nice. You know, as I said, I actually had this on my vision board. I did something called Come Alive, which is like a kind of like a therapy workshop with my mother-in-law, probably like 8 years ago now. And we had to like make goals for ourselves and whatever. And one of mine was write for Montlake. It's cool that that has come true. And I'm really happy that I did it with a book that means a lot to me, because My Dark Fairy Tale is like all about Italy. And as I said, I have Italian ancestry and I have so much love in my heart for Italy. So yeah, it's cool that the two are tied together. Okay, so I just finished my second interview with Kate. It was lovely. And then I went live for a little bit myself, just to chat for a minute. And I saved it to my reels on Instagram if you want to go watch me talk a little bit more about My Dark Fairy Tale. And now we are going to dinner, which I am very excited about. We're going to a French place instead of an Italian place, but we'll just pretend. And I'm wearing red for Rafa. I've actually changed my outfit like 50 times today. But whatever. It's been an amazing day. The book is currently 115th in the store. I'm hoping that it gets into the top 100, fingers crossed. Apparently Tuesdays are not so good for Kindle Unlimited for ranking. So fingers crossed for tomorrow once everything kind of kicks in. Ads usually don't kick in right away as well. So I'm very excited. All the reviews have been lovely. The content's been lovely. I didn't get to it all today, but I will tomorrow. My dog is very sad. That my husband and I are leaving, but we'll come back and we'll end the night watching Traitors because that's what we're currently obsessed with. It's a perfect way to spend the end of my release day. So I'll take you to dinner with us. Off to dinner with my handsome husband. Oh my gosh, I just got home from dinner. It was awesome. And can you see that? It's number 66 in the Kindle store. And it's number 1 in Mafia Romance and number 4 in Action Adventure Romance. So I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I just really wanted it to break into the top 100. So the fact that it's number 66 is like awesome. Maybe we can even get into the top 50. It's 9:30 p.m. and I'm on the West Coast on release day. And I'm number 66 in the Kindle store. I'm so happy. That's awesome. That's just like, oh, makes me so happy. I'm glad that we went out and celebrated. We had a really nice time. And I immediately like got into my sweatpants as soon as I got home, because we both do that as soon as we get home, sweatpants. But I just checked my ranking and I wanted to share that with you guys because I'm so grateful and so excited and so happy. Now we're gonna watch Traitors because we're obsessed. We already watched the entire US series, like all 3 seasons, and now we're on the UK one. We just finished the first season of the UK one and now we're watching the second and it's very good. We just like love competition shows. I don't know what it is, but anyway, we're gonna do that and then I'm gonna go to bed because I got no sleep last night. I'm super exhausted. I'm gonna go through some more tags. Just while I was at dinner, I went back on Instagram for a second now, and I have over 100 comments, tags, and everything just in being at dinner, which is so cool and amazing. So I'm gonna try and get to some more of those while we watch Traitors, and then I will do it all again tomorrow. I have another interview tomorrow, and I'll have to try and get to all of the people that I didn't get to today, but it was an amazing release day. Honestly, I don't care that much about external validation in terms of like ranking, and I don't know how much money a release makes, but I do care if people really like it and people are really enjoying it, which makes me very thrilled. I love Rafa and Guinevere. I loved this whole experience writing for Montlake. It's very rewarding that one of my dreams came true, and I'm so grateful to all of you guys who pick up all my books and make my dreams come true. So thank you so much. I'm gonna sign off now, but thank you for being with me today on release day, and I will see you guys next week. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you later.